Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Harika. So in today's video, I am going to talk about a new activity that's been part of 23.6 release of UiPath. So the activity that I am going to concentrate in this video is extract text. So what is the advantage of using this activity? Because basically, if you see, there are so many things that we can actually extract by using this particular activity. So if I talk about a complex string, so we all must have gone through a scenario sometime or later, like to extract the text between text. Like, if there's a long line where maybe an employee ID is mentioned, and here the employee ID actual information is given, and later some other text is provided. So if you wanted to extract some data which is in between, right, in between two other strings, so we tend to write regex in order to extract the text. And not just that, in UiPath, we have to write a code which will be, we have to write a syntax which will fetch that value into a particular output variable, wherein we have to use it further later on in our code, right? So that has been simplified by using extract text. And not just that, we can also extract a lot many things. So let's say if there is a huge data in which so many details are mentioned. So let me open it up for you with small example. So let's say you have this registration information. So if you see, there's a lot of information in this, and from this, and this is not even structured in terms of a variable, or it's not common. I cannot get this at least by using regex. I have to understand, if I have to get this particular mail address, I have to understand whether how many characters or length that I can pass, or I have to write a complex regex where I have to put a delimiter of space, right? So from this, how easily I can extract certain information just like an email, right? So not just that, and also we have the extended capabilities for extraction of data from HTML and extract certain URLs, all of this. So all this I am going to concentrate in this video, not just by a demo, but also with a lot of examples that we see to understand the whole utilization of this particular activity in a complete manner. So let's get into the video and see everything step by step. So now I am going to first, let's say I'm going to take one sequence. Okay. So in this, what I'm going to do here is, so firstly, let me pull one activity, extract text. So it is under formatting. You can find this activity. So here, what you have to do is first, basically, let's talk about what this activity's properties are. So if you see the properties, basically we have to put in the source text. That means the initial text, the whole text from which you wanted to extract the data. Okay, so let's say here I have my text like this. So let me go to this regex. Okay. So if let's say I wanted to extract some data from this, okay, so let's say I'm gonna extract only the employee ID. So I wanted to extract only the employee IDs, right? So this is my whole text. So in this case, if you want to write regex, it looks something like this, right? But my interest is I will fetch this whole three matches just by using the extract text activity. So how can we do that? So in my case now, this will be the whole initial text. Okay, this will be the whole initial text where I have bunch of email IDs, and I wanted to extract only these email IDs, right? So now I'm gonna copy this whole input, and I'll put it over here. So this is basically, if you see, there's a lot of option that is there. You can put it up whole as a string because it needs an input argument which is a string, right? So this is an input of type string, and then just say save, right? So you have provided the input, and if you say what you want to extract, I want to extract the value between two strings. So what are those two strings that you have to mention here? What's the starting text and what is the ending text? That means just like how we will provide these values inside regex, right? So let's say if you take this example, a starting is this, right? Starting of the text is this. So now I'm going inside, and here I would say the starting of the text is this, right? So basically to apply regex also, we have to make sure that it follows certain pattern, right? So if you see, if you provide this as a starting text, it's gonna, and you haven't provided any ending text, we can see a preview that's been generated here, right? So here the preview says everything after employee ID. But my interest is not everything after employee ID. I wanted to fetch only these things, right? So for that, I'm gonna put a comma, and now you can see the preview has changed. But this one is not included. The last employee ID is not included. The reason being, this is not following a pattern, and also the last employee ID is not ending up with a comma, right? So in that case, either you have to make sure that you follow a pattern. What I mean by that, you can follow a pattern of like this, right? So now if you see, let me go over and change the pattern. So if you follow a pattern just like how we do it in the regex, so let me put a delimiter different one, it's a space. So now all the three were included, right? So this is one thing. Without writing a regex, you can extract all the values from a common patterned source text. So this is something like I. Okay, so now how to get the output of it? How to utilize this output? Because so if you see here, there are actually two outputs that are coming out, right? So one is the first extracted text, that means the first one. So in the regex also we have an option to extract if the output is in the form of an array, right? We will fetch array and we will loop through them in order to get all the values, right? So this is also the same way. Here we can extract the first extracted text alone, or if you want, you can also get the collection of it. Okay, so now how to utilize that? Let me create a variable. Okay, so I would say employee ID 1, and here I'll say all employee IDs. Okay, so now let's go and monitor them, like how we can. So if you keep here employee ID 1, only that will be printed, shown in the console. And let's say if you wanted to see all of them, what you can do, you can go for a for each. Okay, let's take one for each. And what is the value of all the employee IDs? All employee IDs. And you wanted to check one employee ID at a time, right? So just pull this log into the body, and then here you can see current item. Okay, so let's debug this and see. Okay, so if you see here, by this time it has come, employee ID 1 has already been printed in the console, right? And now if you see here, Okay, before to that, I will put, I'll check in the immediate panel what is all employee IDs. So see here, it's a list of three string variables, three strings, right? So which is first, second, and third. So this is similar to what's shown in the preview, right? So now if I click on the current item, it will print me the first one, and then the second one, and now the third one. So like that you can extract the values which are there in a whole string, that or starting with the sum and ending with some common string variables or the text, right? So in this way you can extract the values between two strings using extract text. This is one scenario. And now um let's go to, this is a scenario which is based off regex. And now let's go to something which I have shown you here. So in this PDF, this whole PDF, I wanted to extract only this mail IDs. Okay, let me open this PDF completely. So how I have created this PDF is from this particular Excel. So you all know RPA challenge site. So you can download this particular Excel from the site, right? This is the whole Excel. So from this, I have created this particular PDF. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Now what I'm going to do is, let's read that particular PDF first. So I'm using read PDF text. So if you wanted to recreate this workflow to use this particular activity, you should have this package pdf.activities. You should have installed that. Then you can see read PDF text. So for this, I'm taking this particular PDF file as input and creating a output variable. Okay, done. Now what I can do is, from this output, okay, so first let's understand how the output would look like. Okay, so let's say if I print this output here, okay, let's run this. So if you see here, this is the whole output, right? It is printing everything in a particular, in a single line that it is coming from. So from the PDF. So if you see, I'm gonna copy this whole thing, right? So if you see, this is the whole text. If I put that in Notepad, it would appear something like this. It has taken the information from all the items, right? So it is coming like this. This is the first line. This is the second line. So if you wanted to extract only the mail ID from this, it would be a bit difficult task. But how easily we can do that using extract text. So now I'm going to show that. So we have an option, extract text. After you read the PDF, you have the string. So just remember one thing, the input, the source text that you are passing into the extract text is a string. Okay, so now here I'm gonna pass str PDF text, that means the output after reading the PDF. Okay, so if you see what to extract, right? So what you can do, you can have an option like email addresses. Okay, select email addresses. That means from this whole text, I wanted to extract only the email address, right? So I'm extracting only the email address from this text. And let's create the variable So what is the first one? The first one is first email address one. And what is the next one? All email address, or you can put a list of email address, right? Nice. So after this, I'm gonna print it. Either you can print the way I have shown you earlier by using for each, right? And the log message. All emails. And here you can go for current item, right? So now I'm gonna put a breakpoint here and I'm gonna debug the file. So I hope this will be very much useful for someone who feel regex a little bit complicated, right? Because in regex, not only the task is we have to build the regex, but also to utilize them in a right way by writing the proper syntax. So now in the immediate panel, first I'm gonna watch what is the first email address. Email ID 1, right? jsmith@itsolutions.co.uk. So if you see here, this is the first one. And what's the next one? J Dorsey at. So now I'm gonna hit continue because it will show me all the items. Okay. So if you see J Smith, J Dorsey, Kipling, all the items will come to the 10 count. Okay. So nice. So this is how I can easily extract all the email addresses without writing. So if you see, I just utilized this particular activity and given the input and what I want the output as. I didn't write any regex. I didn't write any syntax. So I feel this particular activity can be wisely used whenever there's a chance that you have to go for regex, complicated regex where you don't know how to write it. So this activity will come as a rescue. So I feel this is also a good use case where we can understand the utilization of this particular activity in a right way. Okay, so we have seen first thing in the regex how we can extract the particular text, right? How we can extract the text that is in between two strings. And we have also seen how we can extract email IDs, only the email IDs in that particular scenario. So now let's go ahead and we will also see how we can extract the HTML data. So you're all familiar with this HTML data, right? So if you have done email automation, when you're reading the body, you usually get the HTML text. So from that HTML text, you wanted to extract only the content. Okay, so here I will give you two small examples. Okay, so one is the normal HTML text that I have, and also from reading from the email. So two examples I will show you using this particular activity, how we can convert, how we can extract only the content. Okay, so now for that, I will take a one more sequence. Okay, so for that, I'm gonna use extract text. Okay, so here, as usual, we have to put in the source text, right? So for the source text, as I wanted to extract it from the HTML, so what I'm going to do here is I will first of all, so basically I have utilized some HTML code here. So if you see, this is the HTML code that I have, right? So I just wrote something by including tags and all. So now when I read this particular text, I don't want all these tags. I just want the content, right? So this is one small basic content that I can show you, right? So if you see here, we have an option text from HTML code. Not just this, any type of HTML code you have, it will give you only the text. So if you see the preview, it's coming as expected, right? So now I will see. Okay, HTML output, and then I will use the log message to print. Okay, this is a basic example how we can eliminate all the HTML tags from the code and we can get only the output. So this is how you can do that. But let's say if you're reading an email and if you wanted to read a body of it. So quickly what I'll do, I will I think I already have it over here. So I'll show you whatever I have here because because for me I was using Gmail for this demo. So I have already created my app password and I'm trying to utilize this. So if at all, if you don't know what is app password, how you can do Gmail automation and all. So I'll quickly tell you how you can do this. I have a complete video on my channel. So if you see, you can go to my channel. Okay, so on my channel in the playlist, so you can see there's a complete playlist for mail automation. So if you go to mail automation, there's a complete, three videos are there. How you can set app password, how you can send mails, how you can read mails. Everything is clearly explained on this particular playlist. So you can check out this particular playlist on my channel, which will help you to get more idea on how you can do email automation if you're opting for the Gmail. So yeah, quickly something about it. And coming back to here, so here I have get password for which I used the app in which I used app password and passing into get IMAP. So here I'm retrieving some mails. If you see, I'm using top 10 mails, and from that, from the top 10 mails, I will show you how the body will usually be, and that body, right? The output from that mail's body, I'm passing here, and I'm taking the HTML code, right? And that particular output I'm passing here. Okay. So now we will see how to do all of this. Okay. Now we will see how to do all of this, and we will understand how easily we can extract. So this workflow I'm not building again because I think it's a basic one and I can show you here. And I have already created app password. So instead of replicating it again, right? So it is actually fetching the mails from here because it will take some time to fetch. Okay, so done. It has fetched all the mails. So now if you see, if I go for all mails dot, let's check if there is any count. So if you see all mails dot count is 10 because it has fetched it 10 mails. And now what I'm going to do here is I will take the current mail and I will check the body of it. Okay. So if you see, the body is a lot of information, right? It's based on basically HTML, how they do the styling, CSS, and all of that. So if you see that particular body, I'm sending as an input, right? I'm sending as an input, and what I'm asking, I want to extract the HTML code is my requirement. And the output is coming as this one, out extract text file result. So this is basically the auto generated outputs that I'm using here. So I'll talk about these also in the next videos, and you can understand how these variables are auto generated and how we can utilize them also. I will talk about it. So if you see here in the immediate panel, I will utilize this output variable. So it says null because it hasn't extracted yet. So now let's try again. So if you see from this whole thing, this is the output, this is the content, right? So this is the content of that from particular whole thing. So that is how you can actually extract only the body. only the content out of the HTML. So I think this is also useful. So from this, you can again apply the regex based on whatever you wanted to extract from this particular text. So let's say if you wanted to extract only this particular folder number, right? So what, from where exactly it has come from and all these details. So you can utilize the next regex, maybe something like, it starts from this, it's end from this, something of that sort, right? So this is how we can use the extract text for extracting the HTML code, right? So now we have seen three things: how you can extract HTML code, how you can extract the text between two strings, and how we can extract emails alone. So we have seen that from a PDF, how we can extract only the emails. And now there's one last and the small concept which we can use the extract text for. So in extract text, if at all we have any in the source text, if at all we have any of the URLs that are provided, let's say in a mail body also sometimes we get URLs, right? So let's say this is my um let me take one small example, or I'll put it over here only. Okay, so I'll take extract text. Okay, so let's say there is some information in the mail. So let me get that information for you. So if you see here, this is a particular text that says AI professional program application, and approve application is required to enroll. So this is the whole text I have received. And here, if you see, there is a URL. If I click on this URL, it will take me to a site, right? This is my site. It will say take me to this site where I can create an account, where I can log in. So these are the different things, right? So in this whole text, I wanted to extract only the URLs. So let's say that I'm getting some mail. There's a business, requirement where I'll get the mails every day, and from that URLs, I wanted to perform something. Right. So I wanted to extract only the URLs of that particular items. So in that case, what you will do, you can simply copy this. So now along, as I'm showing this one to you, alongside I will put one more URL. So let's assume this is a URL. Okay, so in a case where we have multiple URLs, what it happens, right? So just copy this whole text and put it over here. Either you can put it in the text file and read it, or you can directly paste it over here. Okay, so this says an error, maybe because of this. Okay, if there are any something of that sort, right, double quotes, it's definitely gonna throw an error if you read this way. Still there was some error. Let's try and see what is that error. Okay, I think it's gone. Okay, just say save. Okay, done. So we have saved the source text. And now what is the requirement? I wanted to extract only the URLs. Okay, so if you see, the preview has already shown two URLs, right? So now I'm saying URL 1, same thing here, all URLs. So now I will just simply utilize this particular log message for URL 1. Okay, and I can either use for each, just like how I've shown, or else I'll show you in the debug panel, immediate panel. So I hope we have seen all the things. Let's do so if you see, this is the first URL. Okay, and then, oh, I have exited. Let me do this one more time. Right, we have got the first URL, and let's go and check this one here. So URL One is this, and all URLs we have this, right? So clear. So this is how you can actually extract the URLs from this particular in this particular way. So now we have seen different things, different concepts, right? So first we have seen how we can extract the text between two strings, how we can use emails, like how we can extract only emails from a bunch of information, how we can extract HTML content from the HTML code, and how we can extract only the URLs from a certain text, whole text, right? So I hope this is pretty much useful activity for those who don't know how to write regex, because for them it feels a little complicated to write regex for all of these kind of things, and also to utilize the output in a proper way, to navigate that output in a proper way. So I hope you found this video useful. And also I would recommend, if you don't know Gmail automation, and there are a lot of already there are a lot of videos on my channel which you can go up and watch, check them out. So I hope you found this video useful. If at all, please do let me know in the comments. And out of these four, so we have seen HTML, email, URL, and regex, what you find is the most useful for yourself. You just let me know in the comments. I would love to listen your views. And if at all you find anything really useful through my video, please do comment it out. That gives me a lot of motivation to come up with the next videos. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you with the next video next time. Thank you. Bye.